This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons.
Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. We are brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. This is the only show in the metro area that is focused on business expansion, real estate, construction, really fun topics related to Omaha becoming more prosperous, more vibrant, and perhaps a little bit bigger. And now, without any further ado, it's time to bring on my co-host, a legendary real estate deal maker, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jeff.
Well, good morning. There's really exciting news today because Cheer Athletics has officially joined Dingman's as our other title sponsor. And a lot of the listeners, Trenton, are thinking, Cheer Athletics? We know Cheer Athletics. They're the sponsor of the Grow Omaha Eats restaurant reviews from Sarah Baker Hansen. Not anymore. We switched them, and now they're sponsoring the radio show. They did the restaurant reviews for about a year and a half, and now they're with us on the radio show.
Well, just like their international trophies and awards that they get doing Cheer Athletics, and it's a pretty cool concept. And they're good friends of ours, Tiffany and Craig Wolf, and we welcome them as a co-sponsor of the show.
Yeah, specifically they're in the all-star cheer business, and so there are a couple of different forms of competitive cheer that young athletes can participate in, but all-star cheer is kind of considered the Cadillac, and Cheer Athletics is kind of considered the Cadillac of the Cadillac. 12 locations around the country. The Omaha location is just a little bit southwest of Highway 50 and Highway 370. So always exciting to have a new sponsor with us. Let's get into our news of the week. I know a lot of you are curious about what's been going on, and it is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage. They know mortgages, have known mortgages for well north of 30 years. VA, FHA, conventional, even a few little niche mortgages. They help you with all of that. The key thing to remember, though, two things. Number one, they're not a bank, so they can work with you and match you with the right lender for your individual situation. And number two, big on customer service. Answer your questions, look out for you, and really help you through the process, because most people only buy a few houses in their lifetimes, and it's about the biggest thing that most people spend money on. And so Eagle Mortgage really takes good care of you. You can find them in person at 114th and Davenport or online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. Well, Trenton, the big story this week centers on a piece of land in North Downtown. That is where Alliance Sports, which owns the Union Omaha soccer team and the Omaha Storm Chasers AAA baseball team, announced plans for a $60 million professional soccer stadium. It would be part of a $300 million 18-acre mixed-use project. It's going to be located, if it happens, along Abbott Drive, essentially between Abbott Drive and the Gallup operational headquarters. Construction could start as early as this fall, and if it starts then, the likely opening date for the professional soccer stadium would be spring of 2026. The stadium would seat about 7,000 people. And then Trenton, we'll get some analysis on this, but I also want to mention the surrounding development that is planned could have 330 residential units and 100,000 square feet of retail.
That would be amazing if this thing happens according to their plans. It would be another district, if you will, for Omaha. We like to talk about $100 million projects and $300 million projects, and I had some clients from out of town. They're looking at doing business in Omaha, and they wanted an overview of what's happening in Omaha. And it was pretty easy to go from the river on out, and this would be another one of those feathers in our cap. It's got a ways to go as far as approvals, and Union Omaha has done well in their soccer endeavors. They're talking about doing a female professional team, which would be great. I hope it goes, and I know that they want to get about $25 million in financing over the next so many years as far as it's a incentive program for sports related activities next to retail and apartments and things like that. So let's see how it goes.
To help pay for the project, the owners are actively pursuing legislation, they're pursuing legislation that would include this project in what's known as the Sports Arena Facility Financing Assistance Act. That's a mouthful. And they are looking for cumulative support from that, $25 million for the stadium project over the next 20 years. They have a development partner. I should have mentioned, in addition to the residential units and the retail, 140-room hotel is in the plans as well. Love the location. This is, if you can picture driving by the Gallup campus on Abbott Drive, there's a big expansive lawn, if you will. It would be right on there. The southwest end zone, we don't use that word in soccer, but the southwest end zone would be open, and so you'd have great views of the riverfront and the downtown skyline. So we'll see what happens. We do know this. There's a strong contingent of people in Omaha who love pro soccer. Union Omaha, as you indicated earlier, Trenton, has been successful, and it's particularly popular with young professionals, the Latino population, and so it could go a long ways towards one of those amenities we keep talking about that helps us retain young talent.
And it's a professional sport, which is nice. Now that we have volleyball going, we had the first volleyball game for the Supernovas. They had a lot of people. It was about 11,000.
11,624 to be exact at the CHI Health Center Omaha, and we're told that might be an all-time record for a pro volleyball match.
Hopefully that holds out. And everything from youth sports, if you look at what's driving development today throughout the metro area, there's a lot of youth sports facilities, now pro sports on the docket, and when we were Husker Raiders and YMCA and things like that, where your parents...
You're referring to your childhood sports league?
Yeah. Well, but what we've gone from, and when there's parents that have to pay for these things, and travel sports and hockey and all this kind of stuff, and it's encompassed a lot of lives.
I can tell you all about that, parents paying for youth sports and related travel. A lot of fun memories, though. Good stuff. Well, switching gears a little bit, got a couple little construction things to share with you. First of all, the structural steel is now going vertical on the $110 million four-story behavioral health and wellness center, part of Children's Nebraska Hospital. This will be on the west side of the Children's campus, 85th and Dodge. It'll be a 107,000 square foot building, open in early 2026. It's a cool looking building and desperately needed.
And that's not the only steel that's going up in that area.
Are you talking about the Central Library?
Oh, yeah.
That looks great. Yeah, that right there on the southwest corner of 72nd and Dodge.
It'll be awesome. And what they're not talking about is whether Swanson Library will stay at 90th and Dodge. And I don't think that immediate neighbors would be too happy about it, but could you imagine a residential tower there or something?
Yeah.
The views there, it would be, we've always talked about taking the 84th and Dodge, just to the south there, the Swanson Towers, which has been around for a long time, but a modern version of that has been tried out of Village Point and other places, and it's hard to make the numbers work, but could you imagine that location for a high-end condo tower?
Oh, totally. And absolutely, I'm sure the people in the Swanson neighborhood would love to see Swanson Library stay open, but having it that close to this brand spanking new, amazing, state-of-the-art, one of the best central libraries in the world that's opening at 72nd Dodge would be ridiculous. And so I think we all know that Swanson's probably gonna change. I agree with you. I don't know if you'd go too terribly tall there just because it's so close to the neighborhood, but you really wouldn't have to because of that hill.
Right.
You're up so high anyway. So what, maybe like you could do one of those classic 4 stories over one level of parking, a pedestal building as they call them, or maybe go a little higher.
I think you're thinking too small.
Okay. I like the way you think. We told you a couple weeks ago that the old Mid-City Bank building at 42nd and Farnham Street would be coming down. Well, it's down, gone, pile of rubble as of yesterday. MedCenter is getting getting rid of it for yet to be announced future expansion. Got some interesting changes coming to the south side of the old market, the Jones Street corridor between 12th and 13th Streets. A Bluestone development has purchased the historic Fairmont Creamery building. That's the building on the northwest corner of 12th and Jones Street. Been vacant for a long time. No renovation plans have yet to be announced for that. But then right on the south side of the street, plans call for the creation of Old Market Gardens. This would be an urban mini park. It would include a lawn, play garden, rain garden, seating, walking areas, even a miniature outdoor cafe. There are 2 buildings on that block, the Bemis Art Center being one of them, and then a very small historic brick building. Both of those would stay and be incorporated.
Do we know who's doing that? It sounds like a philanthropy project.
Yeah, there is a name associated with it in the planning board documents, but I don't recall that name off the top of my head.
That'd be nice.
And that is, yeah. And I actually want to squeeze in one other thing. We're getting a little tight here, but I do want to mention that Governor Jim Pillen yesterday, along with local leaders, announced $234 million in recovery grants for various projects, 130 different projects in both Northeast and Southeast Omaha. This is supposed to spark growth, create jobs, anticipating about 9,250 new jobs within 5 years if all goes to plan. Couple of the big projects that have been funded, $39 million for the Q Street Corridor Economic Recovery Partnership. A lot of improvements in the Q Street corridor just west of the Kennedy Freeway. $25 million for the Adelante project, which would help Canopy South and the Latino Economic Development Council redo Plaza de la Raza. This is a very tired-looking public square at 24th and N that would be made to look very amazing and very useful for the neighborhood. Wow. $10 million for the city's multipurpose sports complex in Levi Carter Park. The state already announced $35 million from a different source of funds earlier this month. And then $10 million to North End Teleservices to build a $65 million mixed-use project at 24th End Lake.
What about the North Omaha Industrial Project? Wasn't that part of those funds?
Is that separate, I think?
The airport industrial project?
Yeah.
I thought that Justin Wayne, the legislator, was big on that. But
I'm pretty sure that's a separate project.
Like anything
Could
else,
be wrong.
Especially with public funds, you want to see these projects well-planned and well-operated.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting. I think what we will see, though, is it will translate into a lot of development activity in the Northeast and the Southeast quadrants, which is nothing but good for the future of Omaha and its economy. And with that, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to bring on a name and a voice you will recognize, Stacy Winters from Omaha Food Lovers. We have him in the studio several times a year to talk about one of our favorite subjects, eating good food. So stay with us. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
All right, we're off and running.
We get some stills from you. Thanks to Ray. Hi, Ray. Thanks for the shirt.
You want to coordinate next weekend? You
Yeah.
can wear your red one, I'll wear my new blue one.
Yeah.
It'll be kind of like the American flag.
There you go.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
You got a blue one?
Yeah, I got a blue one.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because I know you have a red one.
That
We'll look like the Ralston Rams.
you're talking about youth sports, right? The area that they're going to build up at 120th and Fort. That's that's going to be awesome.
That'd be so cool.
Tranquility?
Yeah.
And chicken and
That's
pickle.
54 million. Remember when we were growing up, like $1 billion or 10 million was a lot of money?
Well, like I always tell people, for perspective, the entire, in the late 80s, the entire Conagra Riverfront campus was $60 million. And everyone was always like, $60 million?
Yeah.
Now, one addition to the Holland Center is over $100 million.
Yeah.
Visit Dingmans.com.
That's crazy.
Dingmans.com for the top choice in collision repair. At Dingmans, we'd rather be the best than apologize for anything less.
There we go.
Yeah. I did.
I like it.
And I did.
I like it.
Weird.
And I did this.
We raised $81,000 in our fundraiser this
Hey,
year.
congratulations.
Yeah. It's like 250,000 meals.
Is that food bank? One
Yeah,
of the food
Food Bank for
banks?
the Heartland.
Okay, yeah.
So,
Congratulations.
Food Bank for the Heartland, are they the ones that own the old H&H?
Yep. I don't know when they're moving in, but
It's amazing they get the money for that.
A
yeah.
lot of generous people in our town.
Maintenance Market's 8 metro area locations.
You know, it's interesting. the Justin Wayne and is it Terrell McKinney, the two senators from Northeast and North Central Omaha, were pretty upset about this. They didn't like a lot of the funding choices for this $234 million. And one of their arguments, which makes a lot of sense to me, is that too much of it went to nonprofits. And their thought is that Northeast Omaha and also Southeast Omaha are too nonprofit dependent, and they had envisioned that,
I think you're right.
and the legislature had envisioned more of this going to incubate businesses or for-profit things. They've got a good point, although a lot of it does go to
But the not-for-profits don't pay taxes ever.
And as one of them said, I can't remember if it was Justin or Terrell, but one of them said, these organizations are already sponsored by millionaires. We need to do things that create businesses. But on the other hand,
Small business and
a lot of these nonprofit things will directly relate to construction projects, and construction projects create wealth and jobs. But they do have a good point.
But I'm all about accountability, making sure the boards have the expert. You can't just take community activists and put them on a board. It's got to be a combination of, it's nice that when Kiewitz at some of these boards, even if they do the construction or whatever, but to get project know-how and management. I mean, we do so well with Roger Dixon and Mecca and all these. You got to have big talent on some of these other ones.
Well, yeah, and let's face it, there are some nonprofits that don't use the money all that efficiently. So yeah. But these were vetted though, so that should help. I mean, they were vetted by the Department of Economic Development, so that should give us a little more confidence, I would think.
Bumper and 10.
If you can trust the government.
Eagle Mortgage, online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. NMLS number 2376.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton are right here. Weekdays from 11 to 2 on News Radio 1110.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beal sitting next to Trenton Magin in the KFAB studio. Show's brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center. Dingman's has 4 metro area locations. Doesn't matter which one you choose because they all do an outstanding job. Northwest Omaha, 120th and Maple. Got it in Papillion, Saddle Creek Road in Midtown. We even have one near 144th and Industrial Road. Dingman's Collision Center. Take good care of you. Mechanical services as well. We love talking about food on this show. Some would say the hosts are addicted to it. And we have one of our good friends on today, Stacy Winters with Omaha Food Lovers. Stacy, welcome back.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thanks for having me. Always enjoy talking food with you guys.
That's one of our favorite parts of the year. So, first of all, how's Omaha Food Lovers going? It is the Facebook group with over 100,000 members.
Yeah,
we had over 105 now.
105,000 we just hit this last week. So yeah, we're still growing like crazy.
Those are people that sign up on your Facebook page, Omaha Food Lovers.
You have to request to join.
Request it, and you do a thorough background check, or at least
we try. Yeah, we try to keep all that spam, all those bots out of the group, which we've been amazingly successful and have not had that problem. So we have to vet all of those requests. So it's kind of crazy how many we get.
You must get a lot of attention from other foodie towns that are amazed. If you look at it as a percentage of the population or whatever, any metric, 105,000 unique people on a Facebook page is pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean that's impressive, but what's even more impressive is the actual engagement numbers in that group. The 105,000, I could tell you, I don't hide the stats, but 90% of those are actually active and engaged in the group in the last 60 days. That's a huge percentage of active members.
Well, that 105,000 is more than 10% of the total metro area population. But Stacy, one of the big restaurant-related news items this week, two James Beard semifinalists here in Omaha. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so we had the Boiler Room, and Tim Nicholson, who's the chef there, was nominated for Best Chef in the Midwest. Luckily, I've already made my Valentine's Day reservations there like a month ago, so I got ahead of this.
Wow, I'm impressed.
So we're
making the rest of us look
Heidi's
bad.
a lucky gal.
We're going there with another couple so we're already on. We already got that on the schedule, and then Yoshitomo was nominated for Best Restaurant. I think David Utterback was nominated, last year for Best Chef. Now this year, Yoshitomo is nominated for Best Restaurant in the Midwest.
Interesting about that, Amy and I were down in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, and when there's a restaurant down there called Mi Casa with a K instead of a C, and they had heard of Omaha's sushi scene,
Yeah.
which I'm sure is from.
There was a huge article in the Washington Post, within the last month or two on Yoshitomo and how some of the best sushi in America can be found in Omaha. Big article.
That article was
Who
really cool.
would have thought?
Yeah.
And then, and not only that, Stacy, but 2 Omaha restaurants made Yelp's list of top 100 places to
I know.
eat.
That was
How
really
is that?
cool. It was really cool. And it wasn't like the type of places you would probably normally pick as, top 100 restaurants.
Who was that?
You had, which I felt really vindicated when last week I went to Corner Kitchen, which is around 50th and G, kind of an old strip mall, formerly a Baker's Plaza down there. And I said Corner Kitchen is one of my personal top 5 favorite restaurants in Omaha. Just the food that Oscar Hernandez does there is incredible.
I still have to try it.
It's that was Corner Kitchen was one of them.
What's the menu?
He does it's Mexican, Asian fusion with some other stuff put in there, but you can get like a Korean pork taco. But his Taco Tuesday there, $2 tacos, unbelievable. It's one of the best places you can go.
So it was rated number 98.
Yes, and the other one on the
We're talking
list,
about whole country, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Whole country.
And I don't know exactly what factors in. Obviously, it's the reviews and the ratings and number of that kind of stuff. And the other one was Everett's on Maple, which is kind of not fancy by any means. Another one of those like kind of old strip mall up there, but they're kind of known for, I'll say the 3 things there. They have the Bubba wings, which are like a spicy but Parmesan wing that you can get there. Their Brussels sprouts are incredible, and they have really good. I'm a fry guy. Their fries are like those home cuts, skin on fries, perfect.
I got to tell you, based on your recommendation shortly after Everett's opened, Grow Omaha frequent contributor Jorge Sotolongo and I went up there and ordered exactly wings, fries, and the Brussels sprouts.
Right.
It was outstanding.
Awesome.
Where is it?
88th and Maple.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it ranked to number 93
Yeah.
on the list.
So pretty cool to get those 2 in that top 100.
Yeah, that was, and it's just great because most of the other restaurants in that list were in California, Texas, Arizona, Florida, as you would expect.
Yeah.
And so for a small market like Omaha to have 2 in the top 100, I'd love seeing
We'll take
things
it.
like
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
We will take that. So let's talk a little bit about some of the places you have been
Right.
as a diner since you were on the show last.
So some new spots that have popped up. Salted Edge. Been out there. It's out in that West Shores area, way out, kind of.
Great ambiance.
Yeah, the Waterloo area out there. I highly recommend. The breadboard has kind of become their signature item, which
And
is
it was
kinda
not
crazy.
intended.
Well, yeah, exactly. It wasn't intended to be, but it's like an $18 breadboard, but it's phenomenal. They serve 4 different types of bread, popovers, some biscuits, different things on there. They're all served with their own like compound butter and salt. So that's really good. And I'm also a huge fan of their short rib French onion soup. Like that.
I had that.
That could be my meal, and I would be absolutely happy with that. That was phenomenal. And
I want to see what it's like when it's warmer outside.
yeah, when you have that patio, it's because they're gonna have, places to pull your boat up to, and on West Shores out there that you can just come up. They want it to be kind of like all encompassing for the casual boater to be able to come in and dine. Plus, it's a bit more, it's fancier too.
And then let's talk about 15th and Farnham, the new Untamed Kitchen, which is almost a new restaurant category. Alex Harrington, who's really hit Omaha hard with Pickleman's, he and
Clayton Chapman
Chapman,
from
who's
Grey Plume.
Grey Plume, renowned chef, came up with these recipes with Alex, and it is. How would you describe Untamed Kitchen vis-a-vis the other restaurants in Omaha?
I've not personally been there yet. So, it's obviously focusing on much healthier food. It's just that, like you said, like that category where it's really wanting, that health focus and trying to, not have so much additives, preservatives, that kind of stuff. So I think that they're really just trying to focus on having those kind of options and still being, delicious.
It's a lot of bowls and wraps and salads. And what's unique about Untamed Kitchen, I think, is, and people have described it as true food kitchen if you've ever been to those around the country, but it's with more taste.
I've been to that.
Yeah, but
a couple of
this
those.
has more taste. And check out Untamed Kitchen. You can see them online, but at 15th and Farnham, and they are doing a deal with they're giving away 5,000 meals. The police department, but corporations, like if people check them out, if you direct mail Untamed Kitchen's Facebook page, Alex Harrington will check it out. But I urge everybody to try it. 15th and Farnham, right on that corner. It's a really cool concept, great food, and they do cater, and so you can get it out west or anywhere you want. And I can't wait till they come out west, but I think now it's worth the trip to go downtown.
Well, let's take a quick break for the news and the weather, and when we come back, we're going to talk to Stacy Winters about a couple other places that he's visited, and then the comments that you're really going to want to hear from him, new places that have popped up since his last visit with us. You're listening to Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Tired of walking into a dull and
All right.
workspace?
This 8-minute news break.
8 minutes?
We got to pare that down.
That's longer than it used to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
I visited Dolomiti.
Is there any way we can cut out anything like the weather or anything to cut out?
All of this here. Let's see.
That's ridiculous.
We're gonna lose. Hate spot. It could take 30 seconds to get them out of here. It's a PSA.
Oh, yeah, PSA. Let's kill the PSA.
Yeah, kill the PSA, and everything else. I'll get in big trouble if I get rid of them.
Cool, do it.
So yeah.
Blamed us.
So it's just 7.5 now.
Okay, that makes a difference.
We're obnoxious talent.
Yeah.
Some people just
And where the hell's our green room?
is a rate based on you. With all
My latest, not obsession, but I've been there multiple times. So you get Inkwell. I think I told you I love Inkwell, but the Irish coffee at Inkwell, like that drink is so.
for a quote today.
I've been to Buena Vista in San Francisco, which is where Irish coffee was invented.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Everybody thinks it was like invented in Ireland. It was invented in San Francisco. But this is a place that has it as close to what they do in Buena Vista as I've ever seen. So.
How do you keep a list of restaurants that you want to hit? Because we always we end up at the old favorites because we forget like the new ones, like Corner
Right
Kitchen.
there.
Yeah.
Wow.
So just text Stacy before you guys go out to dinner.
Yeah. I need a restaurant hit.
We have this nice,
Real fast.
we have this nice spreadsheet on our.
You're my dealer. Yeah, I've heard of that.
And you just like have that as a link on your notes and.
What's the? Is it up on the page, or do you have to hit?
No,
you
it's
have
in
to
the,
search for it.
It's in the page. It's on the featured post, like at the top of the group.
Can you roll your chair about 2 inches forward? Thank you.
I thought you were gonna give me coordinates.
Yeah, almost. My jacket was under.
3 minutes and
My jacket was under
to the northwest.
under the wheels. Sorry.
So people were really confused on the Saddle Creek Breakfast Club. Like, are they staying and opening a second one? Are they
They're moving, aren't they?
Yeah, they're moving. I think originally you guys reported that they were.
Well,
opening a second one.
the original intel we got like before we had ever admitted
Yeah.
they were going to that is that it was going to be a second location, and then I think that's just kind of stuck in our heads a little bit.
Yeah, for a while it was they were going to possibly have to for a bit because the lease was expiring or something was happening with that existing location.
Yeah.
But it's taken so long to get the second one or get the Parkside Village location open. It's just going to be a move.
They're waiting until their kindergartners went to
It
West
sounds
Side.
like it's going to happen like in the near future, like this, like sometime the next 2 or 3 months, right?
Yeah, I think so.
been
Yeah,
forever.
the sign's up now.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to having them there. It's a little easier
I love that
to
place.
get to.
Hopefully it's a
I
lot bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
I did like the patio.
Oh, the patio was
Saddle
cool.
Creek was
Yeah.
good. Like, so I don't know. You can't really create that on the sidewalk.
I've only been there
Did
once.
you go to any openings for Charleston's? Yeah, they open Monday. They're gonna play.
Yeah, I know that.
I read about the newsletter.
Yeah, they're them and I don't know when Mahogany moves, but
A little bit later, I guess. A little bit later.
yeah.
Everybody's asking like, why would they do that? Why would they get? It has to do with the leases and remodeling and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But they do
and-
business.
And they had to remodel. They would have been down for like 6 or 8 months, and this is a better choice. They're down a week instead of 6 or 8 months.
Well, how do you compare the locations?
Oh, Dodge is way better
Because
location.
we don't know who's going to the new ones. It was going to be the guy that did Salted Edge. I thought that
Greg Young or
I thought he was
He is
by.
by Mahogany.
Are you sure? He's doing both.
Yeah.
he's gonna open a steakhouse here, isn't he?
And then at Steakhouse, I originally heard seafood. Now I'm hearing Steakhouse. And then I have Sorry, Omaha Uncut, but I know what's going into the Charlestons, but I can't say because I was sworn to secrecy. I can tell you guys after. Sorry, Omaha Uncut.
I'm excited for something that hopefully will be going into downtown Elkhorn, which of course we can't say yet either.
Where downtown Elkhorn?
You know what we're talking about.
Sunny with a high near 43. That is your forecast. This is Michael AC.
We had a text conversation.
That was a text conversation, yeah.
Then it comes time to get that home loan. You know, just the biggest investment most of us ever make. And they grab their phone and
Wow, this is a very long restaurant. They're gonna have a huge sign.
I'm explaining it in parentheses.
at Eagle Mortgage for your mortgage or refinance and let them beat the national lenders on rates and
Is it a chain?
service. Eagle.
Oh, don't give them any clues.
We don't know what it is.
Christ almighty.
It rhymes with.
How long have you, Jeff? How long have you known Trenton?
It rhymes. You know what it is?
You can show Stacy, but it is kind of
It rhymes with pterodactyl.
Stop.
You heard of that?
No.
Maybe we just showed a guy who's got 105,000 followers on his Facebook page.
Let me make that post right now.
It's always funny when I'm meeting with new clients and I get done telling them about how we have like
90 seconds.
20,000 newsletters, subscribers. We've had a show for 20 years, and then they confide in me what they want to do in Omaha, and I can just see in their mind. So I'll say, you know, I'll talk about that on the show tomorrow. And they're like, no,
Please don't. Yeah.
we keep our confidences.
I made a I made the post of the new Saddle Creek Breakfast Club. I drove by and took a picture of the sign.
Yeah.
50,000 post
Yeah.
reach. One just the sign.
60 seconds.
I mean, people are excited. I mean, the place. I say I've only been there once, but it was one of the best
It's my
breakfasts
favorite
I've ever had in Omaha.
Yeah, I love it.
I just don't get down to Saddle Creek very much in the mornings. Yeah, and it was like a weekday when I met someone, you know, for like a work meeting. And it's been a couple of years.
Honey and I went in the fall on like a decently warm day.
Yeah,
and
sat
we sat
outside.
outside.
Yeah.
It was a big jacket, but it was perfect.
Steph, when the new one opens, we have to go over there.
We got groupies today.
Yeah.
One is the videographer.
We have two very important ladies in our lives that are here in the studio.
Yeah, they're basically our handlers.
Stephanie and Amy.
Wondering where we're going on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, you got that reservation made?
Thanks a lot, Stacy.
Threw you under the bus there, didn't I?
Hey, Stacy, why don't you become a marriage counselor when you're done with this Food Lovers stuff?
Simply inject some personality. We've got you covered. Check us out today at Renz.com. That's RENZE.com.
Listen to News Radio 1110 KFAB anywhere, anytime on your free iHeartRadio app.
And we're back, brought to you by Cheer Athletics and Dingman's Collision Center. It is time for your Noddle Companies Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week. Noddle Companies is a national full-service real estate company based right here in Omaha, and they grow communities. They're turning the fashion scene on its head right now at Exarban Village with new retailers like A Priori and Status, and they serve incredible eats. Saffron, Rub, No Name Cafe, the list goes on. And keep your eyes peeled because the newest park entering the scene in North Downtown's Builders District is under construction right now, and it's going to be very similar to that amenity-heavy park that's at Exarban Village. Trenton, on the docket this week, another Noddle Companies development is Steel Ridge, and right now I drove by Steel Ridge, and the Kia dealership right there has really come along with that construction progress. That's getting pretty close.
Yeah, I love me some Steve and Jeff Hinchcliffe, great operators. They have a bunch of car dealerships, some Harley-Davidson motorcycle dealerships, and that Steel Ridge, state-of-the-art Kia dealership. They've got other dealerships up there all around them. They've got the Shine Shop, and I'm excited to see what goes on those pad sites in front of the Kia dealership and all that, because that Steel Ridge area, which is Interstate 80 and Highway 370 on both sides, is really taking off.
Time will tell, and thank you to Noddle Companies for sponsoring the show. Stacy Winters is here from Omaha Food Lovers. And Stacy, we started to talk a little bit before the break, but I want to hear a couple other places that you have visited since we last visited.
Sure. Another one is Dolomiti, which is the new pizza place that is down in the Millwork Commons area. the whole Millward Commons is finally, you're just getting a lot of different places in there now. You got the Dolomiti, you got Coneflower, you got Archetype, you got Sweet Magnolias, Cross Strain, Nomadic Jacks is a burger spot that's doing operating out of Cross Strain down there. So there are a lot of great places, but Dolomiti has really taken it by storm the last month. They opened, I think, at maybe the end of November, early December, and they never announced they were open. That was funny. They never had like a grand opening. They just kind of soft opened and just went from there. And I had to like book a reservation, and I had to go like early at like 5 o'clock to get in there. So it was it's doing really, really well.
It's full service, sit down pizza restaurant.
Yeah, it's
in Millward Commons.
Carlos Mendez and Tim Mage. So we're very well known in the restaurant community here.
But
in
that's
Omaha.
a great example, and they've got some heavyweights down there, Cross Strain and Coneflower. It's off the beaten path. It's by the old Mastercraft. It's more of an incubator now.
Yeah.
That area. But could you imagine if they build this new development along Abbott Drive and the Missouri River, because you can see those from each other, and it's neat. I mean, talking about that, those are destination places.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's a destination pizza spot down there now. I mean, it's really, really good. I mean, and the cocktails are wonderful. We had a really, really nice time down there. It's a good spot. Trying to think some other spots. So I'm really big. I'm a big barbecue fan. I'm wearing my barbecue T-shirt today. My
Joe Arthur.
It's a combination of it's a Kansas City barbecue tribute T-shirt.
Joe's, Arthur Bryant's,
Gates,
Jack
they're all
Stack.
in there.
Okay.
So I'm really a big fan of Mission Ave Barbecue. Actually going there for meet some friends today there for lunch. So you have a bunch to stop down. It's in the Old Town Bellevue. But Mission Ave is doing some really, really good Texas style barbecue. They opened last year. I might have mentioned them the last time I was on the show. But their Texas style barbecue is phenomenal. It's a really tough spot though down in that Old Town Bellevue, because I don't think a lot of people know about it or want to travel that far. But it's great barbecue and well worth the drive. Kind of not a food related topic, and I was kind of mentioning this off the air here. I've become obsessed thanks to one of my friends, Nat O'Gura. Shout out to Yum Omaha, that's her page. But she got me hooked on Irish coffee, and Inkwell in Countryside Village does the best Irish coffee I've found in the area. I had Irish coffee out in San Francisco at Buena Vista, where surprisingly that's where Irish coffee was invented. Most people think it was going to be Ireland, but it's not. But this is
that Bailey's, or what do they put in it?
No, it is like
cream to mint
coffee. No, it's an Irish whiskey, like a Tullamore or Jameson and coffee and heavy whipping cream.
So, but Stacy, we also want to hear about some new places that have opened or about to open before we let you out of here.
So the ones that I've seen that people are really, really excited about are obviously Hawaiian Brothers is coming to Omaha. It's coming out to the Gretna area. People are really excited about that. That's coming from the Hodges, the people that brought us.
Great operators.
Brought us Jimmy John's and Williamsburg Pizza, who they're opening up another Williamsburg Pizza off 156th and Maple too. That's going to be probably in this next year. A Hot Pot 88 is another one. I know you guys had it in your newsletter at one point, and that'll probably be a while, but that's going up over off 132nd and Center in where the old store sits. They tore that down. People are super excited about a dedicated hot pot.
Over by Blue Moon Fitness at Canfield Plaza, there's China
Garden. China Garden has a hot pot.
That's good eating.
I think people are also excited about the Saddle Creek Breakfast Club. They're moving to Countryside Village. I know obviously a lot of people are sad that they're moving from their other location, but that's been kind of some big news in the group.
Yeah, I got my membership to the club.
Yeah.
You don't have to sign up, ladies and gentlemen. You just have to show up and put your name down.
Izzy's will be opening up a full-service restaurant in, I think they're targeting May for that, which is the Detroit-style pizza. They have their food truck right now, food bus right now.
Where will that be?
It's the old Felius Cat Cafe.
24th and Howard.
24th and Howard, yeah. I'm excited about...
Folks, that was Trenton trying to make a cat noise.
I'm excited about the...
Sorry, I had a fur ball.
I'm excited about the Udalale, which is opening up in the old Mark's Bistro. So I was a big fan of Mark's Bistro.
Me too.
That was a great spot. And great news is that Udalale is planning to feature some of Mark's Bistro's recipes. So everybody loved their mac and cheese. That's supposed to be on their menu. I believe their caramel or their bread pudding that they had, that's supposed to be on that menu. So I'm excited to see what that final menu looks like, and that should be a great spot here in Dundee.
And that Izzy's Pizza is so popular.
Oh,
I
so
mean,
good.
I think there are people that chase that bus around town.
Yeah, right now he's permanently set up at Trucks and Taps. He's been having some issues with his bus, to be honest. So he can't drive it anywhere at this
108th
moment.
south of Q.
So yeah, it's one of those. I know with the weather's been a big factor for him, and the business has been kind of slow because of that. Which you think all these places are doing so well, and I know in the last this last month the weather's just been terrible for some of these businesses. So I tell people right now is like, if you have a favorite spot, go support your favorite spots because they are. Don't assume they're doing well.
Yeah, let's expand on that just a little bit because there have been several posts on your page, Omaha Food Lovers. A lot of these restaurants have made what are actually akin to pleas on their own Facebook pages. There was an article about it in a couple of the local media sources. It sounds like January, which is always a tough month in the restaurant business, with this unusually strong cold spell and this heavy snow has beaten up a lot of these operators.
And also, these operators will give pleas for their fellow operators. There's a lot of camaraderie.
There is.
The guy that owns Muchachos is hilarious.
Yeah, the banter between Block 16 and Muchachos is the best part. One of the best parts of Facebook.
I guess they're the good friends. I assume.
Yeah. They're great friends. But no, you're right. It's you're seeing it left and right out there. Even Block 16, which is probably in the foodie community one of the top restaurants out there. They were struggling and their sales were down immensely. Even people say, well, restaurants should plan for this. Well, they do plan for these downtimes, but this was an extreme version of that they really couldn't plan for.
Well, yeah, we had a couple nights and 2 different weeks, which were among the coldest nights that Omaha has had in my lifetime. Yeah. And I've been around a while.
and just like Untamed Kitchen down there, the downtown restaurants that cater, give them some love because they'll cater farther out west. And I think that's because there's not a lot of office employees down there compared to a couple of years ago.
Well, Stacy, we really appreciate you joining us, and thanks to everything you do to keep us informed with Omaha's amazing culinary scene that's only going to get better.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Stacy Winters, Omaha Food Lovers. We're going to take our final break of the hour, and when we come back, it'll be the Turner Construction Lightning Round, and I'm looking at the list, and there's a lot on there. Stay with us. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
I always wanted when there was a vacancy, I think it's a wine bar, but still there, underneath the Marks.
Oh yeah.
I always wanted to open up a skate shop and call it Skid.
Skid Marks.
You didn't choose to get it.
I think that's the first hairball I've had on there.
And when it first came out, I'm like, what the is that? And then I was like, oh, you're trying to imitate a cat.
Verbal.
I'm Darcy.
I did see a draft of a menu for Memoir today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I noticed
social media.
February 5th.
Downtown.
They opened February 5th.
Had a meeting last Friday downtown, and they were like crating in boxes full of stuff on dollies. Like, oh,
but they won't be able to make reservations.
February 5th, you said? Okay.
But it's a
I need to
cocktail bar,
announce
right?
that.
What was that?
It's a cocktail place, right?
No, it's full restaurant.
Yeah, it's
Memoir's a full restaurant?
Yeah.
They're like, get your reservations.
It's part of flagship.
I
We're
know.
not. Yeah. So they're
One of 3 restaurants right there.
Yeah, and they're so I actually work out with like one of the guys that is big into part of that group.
Okay.
And so I asked him because people were asking to see the menu, and he asked him, it's gone through a dozen modifications. They still haven't it's
They better hustle.
It's
90 seconds.
and so it's kind of a hodgepodge of a lot of the stuff that they offer. Their other like Pyro, their one, the blue stuff. It's got sushi. It's bringing in a bunch of the stuff together.
Are they gonna bring Pyro to Omaha? Because you got Memoir.
I don't think Pyro's
They have a Mediterranean one under development inside the old wheat fields in World Market. And that's going to be flagship as well, but I haven't been able to get a lot of details about that.
Have you been to Honey Place? What's that?
60 seconds.
It's on my list to go to. I have not been. Everything's been really positive about that place, though.
Except Sarah.
Circo was pretty positive. Circo and Cibo Vino are two Italian places I want to go to.
Cibo Vino was really
Cibo Vino
good.
a couple weeks ago
really
for Steph's
well.
birthday.
It's pronounced Chivo.
Chivo.
It's really good.
Yeah, we went there for dinner from Steph's birthday. We had a good time.
Yeah.
The kids
We had
loved it.
several pasta dishes and they were all amazing.
Yeah.
Dundee
I tried though.
Dundee Dell just had they unveiled a new menu this week.
30 seconds.
I haven't been there forever.
I know, me either.
Gary and I used to, Saddlemeyer and I used to go there all the time, but then we started our
Sarah really
barbecue
liked their
thing.
fish and chips.
What's that?
Sarah really liked their fish and chips.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I haven't had that.
They always come with a British flag now, a little toothpick British
15
flag.
seconds.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
We're back in 10.
Let them beat the national lenders on rates and service. Eagle Mortgage online at eaglemortgagecompany.com. NMLS number 2376.
Listen on our free iHeartRadio app for all your music, sports, talk, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
And it's time for our Turner Construction Lightning Round, in which we talk about a lot of things in a short period of time. Thank you to Turner Construction for making this possible. They are building Omaha. I was just talking yesterday to our colleague, Brian Thomas at NAI NP Dodge. He's been on the show several times, so you all know Brian. But he's former command chief at Offutt Air Force Base and periodically has to go on the base for different reasons. And he was telling me yesterday, Mike, Jeff, you would not believe the scope of construction that Turner has going on the base right now. We've told you guys about that $300 million worth of work that Turner is doing for the Air Force, but Brian said that is in full force right now, so it's truly amazing. So appreciate Turner taking care of America, so to speak, by working on the base. And then around the rest of Omaha, they are known for all sorts of projects, big, medium, and small. A lot of companies are using them to do retail space, warehouses, big construction projects. They do it all, and they do it on budget, on time, and with people who love Omaha and love being a part of the Turner Construction family. So thanks to Turner for making this possible. Let's get on with it. Charleston's West Omaha location is opening in the new building Monday. The actual address is 105 North 145th Street. That's in the new-ish Heartwood Preserve development. The old Charleston's is vacant. They've already moved out of it. So if you want Charleston's today or tomorrow, got to go to 76th and Dodge.
Yep.
FOBA plans to open today at 176th and Q Street, right near Javi's Tacos and Mary's Mountain Cookies, locally owned restaurant, Vietnamese cuisine, and boba tea. Tommy's Express Car Wash will begin construction soon on a car wash facility in the parking lot of Canfields Plaza, 85th and West Center Road. Nebraska's first Take 5 oil change is officially open now. Northeast corner of 72nd and Highway 370 in Papillion. And that is just kind of catty corner to Shadow Lake Town Center, where they happen to have a Take 5 car wash. So it's a Take 5 kind of corner. Sports Hall at 3851 Farnham Street, unfortunately, will permanently close tomorrow. This is a locally owned sports bar in the Blackstone district. Got some good news. Good news continues to come out of Epley Airport. Frontier Airlines is adding a nonstop from Epley to Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. It'll be seasonal route beginning May 17th. Of course, American Airlines already does 3 or 4 departures and arrivals from Omaha to DFW already. Southwest Airlines does have nonstops to Dallas Love Field, a little closer to downtown. Of course, last week we announced the $1 billion terminal expansion. The J. Crew factory store is now open in a former Pottery Barns kids space in Regency Court. So, Trenton, we have activity all of the time. There's never a lack of things to talk about in the lightning round.
Yeah, I'm excited. Even though it's winter, you're seeing construction projects being announced. You're seeing them getting completed. It'll be interesting to see. We don't talk about it very often, but Applied Underwriters at 144th and Pacific, that thing is huge with all the parking underneath, and then you're going to have what Lockwood's doing at Heartwood Preserve, and Lanahaw's doing a big project there, and these restaurants opening up and stuff. And it's been a long time coming if you think about it.
Yeah, a couple thoughts. First of all, you mentioned Heartwood Preserve and restaurants, and I failed to mention that Mahogany Prime is also moving to Heartwood Preserve, but they're not quite ready to do that yet, but I think they're getting fairly close. And then regarding the construction comment, Trenton, one of the things that has impressed me this month, despite awful weather that we have had, if you go by these construction sites, these guys are working. Like this morning, Stephanie and I were coming into the studio and drove by the Bankers Trust building at 192nd and West Dodge Road, and there were guys up there this morning in the fog welding and doing their steel. And even a couple weeks ago, when it was a hell of a lot colder than it is this week, I noticed guys working on the Mutual of Omaha Tower.
Wow.
And sitting here, and I mean, it's just brutally cold. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do that kind of work during that weather. Earlier in the show, we talked about the steel going vertical at the Central Library. That started happening on a day that felt like it was about 0 degrees outside.
Absolutely, and we're already almost through January. So
yeah, the worst month of the year for construction is wrapping up, and so you should start to see a little bit of acceleration. What we really are looking for and anticipating, when the spring gets here, we can work on some of these potholes.
We'll see how these road construction. We live off 168th Street by Zorinsky, and they've done a good job on one side of the bridge, and I don't know if they're still working or not. They've put up some concrete walls and things like that, but that project's going to take a while.
Yeah, certainly a big project, and a 2-mile road widening instead of the usual one that we see. Well, the music's playing, which means we have to go do something else, and so do you. But we appreciate you being with us here today more than you even realize. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Maggin.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, Cheer Athletics, and Turner Construction. We'll chat with you next week at 9, right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Clear.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.